All right, man, we're back. Salam alaikum. Good morning to you. Munir, good morning to our viewers. Back with another daily updates with A&M. Let's get at it. How you doing
Welcome,
this morning?
welcome back, everyone. How are you doing? How is everything? How is your life, Aline? And
How's my light
how's your
or
day?
life?
How's your day? Let's start with the day.
The light radiating from my soul is good. My life is good. Um, at the stage where I am kept up at night a little bit more than usual with a 1 month or one-ish month old. But that's part of life, part of child ownership.
It is, man. It is, man. You've become a professional in that
I
because it's not
have.
like it's the first time. And also, also to people, I always liked and loved bigger families because I was raised in one. I have four siblings, so there's five of us, and that's a beautiful thing, a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Yeah, yeah. Back in the day, that was much more normal than nowadays. It's
Indeed, man,
crazy,
it
man. It's
is.
crazy. I guess this like um industrial move. I don't know what how to define it, but just whatever happened that led to both parents working and kind of a shift away from bigger families and
Post-industrial.
yeah, yeah,
Industrial was really not because industrial there was a man who can afford to build a house and everything else, and a wife can be in staying at home and with children. But right now this is like postmodern society where the inflation has gone through the roof and the money is not worth what it was, so they have that's why
So I listened to something the other day that kind of combat that inflation cost of living is the reason why thing. And it made a lot of sense to me. Back in the day, in a family of four, there were not four computers in the house. There were not four um, iPhones. There were not usually 8 or 12 pieces of headphones and pieces of this and that. You know, there were not four TVs, one in every room. There was not four cars. There was not. I mean, it's like
yeah, man,
people
good
reflect
point.
back on back in the day, and it's like the story is there was one car in the village that the whole
Good
village
point.
used.
Yeah, have you ever read like the what people used to buy in grocery stores or how did they call them back then? General stores. They used to buy like what are just basic stuff today, such as butter, milk,
Right.
eggs,
Well, they bought
meat,
ingredients. Now we buy finished
meat. Yeah,
products.
potatoes. Now it's completely different. So that point, really, that's a beautiful point that you just made.
You know what
Is
I
really
did
true.
yesterday, man? I was driving with Talia, my 10-year-old, and I was trying to make him like understand what life was like back in the day, and I was just as I was saying, trying to compare my upbringing to his, and I just remember that this is the cycle that's repeated over the last thousands of years, where the previous generation talks about how their life was so different than the current generations. And so what I did was I went to ChatGPT and I said, "Hey, tell me, create a conversation between um, a boy named Alia, who's 10 years old, who grew up 100 years ago, and have him have a conversation with a boy named Aldin, who grew up 100 years in the future from now, and have them talk about their differences in their life and their day and it was a bit more of a maybe fun way for him to listen to what life was like. But it talked about how 100 years ago kids would have real chores. Like now chores are like take out the trash, and it's just, I mean, in most cases, it's just there for like to
They used
teach
to
them a
work in
life
factories,
lesson.
man.
I know. Back in the
Did you see
day,
that
it's
picture?
like go,
Insane.
you know, go butcher the cow, and but it was fun. And then we did have these two have a rap battle. So then they had a rap battle.
That's
And
nice.
yeah, it was like it was fun. It was fun.
Rap
Uh,
battle. Wow.
and then I
Great move
said,
right there.
and then I said, also add other members of my family that are actually 500 years from the future join in and a rap battle between the 100 years ago and the 100 years from now, original two versus these 500 years, and they were all having a rap battle. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. But let's dive in now.
Let's go.
All right. Yesterday we had 47 available drivers. 36 of those drivers were booked on 43 loads. 76% fleet utilization rate with a 9.91 bid win ratio. The bid win ratio continues to be higher. Our average driver pay was significantly lower, which tells me we probably didn't book as many of those big home run guys, home run loads, and it was more singles or doubles rather than the grand slams for those that are into baseball.
Yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened. I don't know what you just said with those. You were moving your mouth around about something, but I don't understand baseball. So, but that's what happened.
Yes,
That's the
sir.
thing.
Yeah, baseball's a fun sport, man. We should introduce it to about the Bosnian market.
No, man, we resisted it for like 100 plus years. Let's not go into it. Babe Ruth lived like 100 years ago, right?
I
So
don't know. Maybe. I think
I
less than
think yeah,
100.
I think 100.
All right, so this is the breakdown of the loads. Again, 25% expired, meaning it was loads that were offered to our drivers. Our drivers did not either accept or decline them. They just let them sit there in this limbo state. We got to get better at that. I mean, we keep talking about that. A lot of these loads are good opportunities, are loads that would have been booked, but because, we didn't respond to them in time, they just kind of fall off. Looks like about 33-ish percent were declined, and then about 33% we bid on, and I call it some of those we won and some of those we didn't. But yeah, I mean,
And
when you
it's
look at it,
kind of yeah, yeah. Sorry, if we go like and look at a wider average, I think it's usually like 30% bids, 30% declines, 30% expires, which is in reality 60% of flows that were not utilized, and then 30% of those that we placed a bid on and lost most of them.
yeah, it's
That's
pretty
how
wild. I mean,
hard it
think
is.
about 1,387 opportunities, and we only booked 43 of them. It just shows you the state of the industry, you know. I mean, that's
Mm.
I don't know the number, but is that so 1% would be 13. So
Three,
yeah,
four
I mean,
percent
4% of opportunities were booked. All right.
Code Red. Our brother 347. He was on this list yesterday. 609 wasn't in the, if I remember correctly, but 347. He's in Salt Lake City, Utah. The only good thing about 347 is that Salt Lake City is where he lives, and as you can see, we only had 6 bids, so not a lot of those going to East. He has the East on out of dispatch, but not a lot of bids going there. As you see, 25 were missed, so 25 were going in and around Cali or Arizona or something
And
like that. So
missed,
we
just to
missed it.
remind everyone again, is loads that expired or loads that we declined, loads that we did not pursue.
Right. And 609 just became available yesterday in Davenport, Florida. Florida is a tough place to be in. We had 9 bids only yesterday. Hopefully today will resolve both of these. When it comes to Salt Lake City, why Salt Lake City is difficult, and it's not even on the list of our relocation cities, is because when you're in Salt Lake City, there's really nowhere to move because Denver is too far out. And I mean, you can go to Denver, but that's a long ride, and it's kind of just you have to wait until you get a load. That's why Salt Lake City is difficult.
Happy birthday to
Wow!
our man Alvid.
Look, look at this guy, man. Look at this guy. Green is his color. Look, green is his color. I gotta say, he has a goatee. Is this a goatee?
It is
Like
a
the
goatee.
beard. Yeah, he's a funny guy. You had a chance to speak with him.
I have.
Yeah, you have. Yeah. I mean, all of us, everyone loves him in the office. He's a
Mm-hmm.
great guy. He's usually always on self dispatch, meaning
Mm-hmm.
bidding on himself, making a decent money, I would say. He loves longer loads, and he says to us, guys, don't offer me these short loads. I'm gonna bid on longer ones, and I'm gonna get it sooner or later. And sometimes he really waits a little bit to get a longer load, but that's what he likes, and those are his preferences. And when he's home, especially in St. Louis, he waits until he gets what he wants. And but still, he's a smart guy. He knows when he's in a top spot, even on the longer ones, he knows what to do. So happy birthday, man.
Yeah. One of those guys that's invested in the company, I would say, man. He called me when one of our dispatchers was leaving BHX, and he was, inquiring the reasoning and saying if anything can be done to keep him, and different stuff like that. So one of those people that's invested in the company and the overall success and growth of the company and what happens in the company,
Couple
which
of
we
yeah,
appreciate.
couple of weeks ago, he was in Bosnia actually,
Oh yeah.
and he came to the office, but it was a weekend, so only Abdurrahman was here, who's working weekends. So they spent some time together, drank a coffee or something like that, and
Nice.
but we're sad that he didn't come like during work days or that he didn't contact us. Maybe we could have organized something.
Yeah. All right, ops problems. Yesterday we had a few problematic instances in operations. Some of these were the following: customs clearance delay of 24 hours. The customer's agreement expired with the customs broker, and they were unaware of this, so we had to wait for them to create a new one. That sucks. The
Mm.
driver and we kind of pay the price for them not being organized, but you know what, man? It's one of those things that happens. Shipment was picked up, and then when we were 70 miles from the shipper, they requested us to go back and add more parts to the skid. I mean, I assume in both of these instances the driver was paid, was compensated extra. So,
You assumed correctly.
yeah, it's not for nothing. I mean, no one likes delays, and even, getting that extra 50 or 100 or $200 often in people's heads doesn't really make up, quote unquote, for the delay. But listen, man, it's gonna happen. Um, it's part of logistics. This is gonna happen in our industry. And where I think we shine as a company over many others is that we pay our drivers accessorial charges regardless if the customer pays or not. So our driver doesn't have to worry about, am I gonna get compensated for this or not, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Breakdown of yesterday. Hottest had 178 bids, booked 13 loads, and 535 average driver pay. Omer and Muammer with 11 apiece, and then Vedad, the cleanup crew, came in with a couple of loads himself.
Righty. Yeah, just maybe we can make a short announcement about Vedat leaving the after hours. Maybe that's something we should have announced.
Yeah.
So Vedat is leaving the after hours. He will join the main shift, so 8 to 5. I will be working here from the office 8 to 5, and we'll have another person that's been trained for the last month, and some of you guys already spoke with him. His name is Kamal. He's already fully trained. He has some prior experience as well in the industry, and he's been with us for a month and trained in everything. He's gonna be starting next next Monday, working after hours. So you'll have a pleasure dealing with him. Veda will be, I guess, communicating more with you or less. We'll see, but because he's in the busy shift, main shift.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always good, to bring high quality people to that main shift. That's where the majority of things happen, but you still need strong people in the second in the night shift in this case. So we feel like we're in a pretty good place with the new
Do
gentleman that we hired. Yesterday, one of the top three loads was this New York to Ontario, 274 miles for 450, $1.64 a mile. Anytime you can make 450 bucks and you have less than 300 miles, it doesn't happen very often nowadays, but it's a win. It's a good load.
great load.
Next up, we
Shorter
got
ones, as you can see.
Ohio to Ontario, very similar to that last one. Slightly more miles, slightly more pay, but same type of shipment, delivering in the best area, ready to roll after. And another Ontario, 644 miles for 705, $1.09 a mile, Tennessee to Ontario. This one actually just crosses the border, so this one doesn't go deep into Canada. It's Windsor, so most likely the driver's going to move to Detroit. And
Yeah,
cool.
great load. All of those Ontario loads.
We got an Eid coming up for our Muslim drivers. Is this Sunday? Please make sure your dispatch settings, home by date, and radius around home are updated accordingly. Um, listen, your dispatch settings are yours. They're yours to manage. We're here to help and we're here to assist. What I'll say is we're going to always do our best to provide help and guidance on this. But ultimately, the responsibility to choose the right settings falls on you, the driver. And I hope that you guys understand and you guys take that seriously. But yeah, I mean, if you're trying to get home by this Sunday, maximum radius around home is a great setting. I would recommend something 300 miles and home by, put Saturday night or put Sunday morning, whatever it is you want. And yeah, that's it.
Right.
Next up, we got
Next up,
on
let's see what's
time.
next. 97%, right around the ballpark, with three unjustified or unexcused late arrivals. All arrivals yesterday were unjustified. For drivers that are doing a wonderful job, as they are doing, as you can see, Mr. James had four stops yesterday, meaning two full loads with 100% on time arrival. Thank you so much, James, and everyone else.
Yeah, 97 is right where we want to be. So it's good to see. Um, everyone understands, that late arrivals will happen. With just a reminder again to our drivers, if you're going to be late due to weather, due to traffic, or anything out of your control, all you need to do is communicate to us. We update the customer, we update the ETA, and it doesn't count as a late arrival against you. So just that communication piece is going to be crucial. And as always, safety is number one priority. So if you ever find yourself where it's unsafe to drive and you're going to be late because you have to stop, we always encourage you to stop and just communicate to us what's going on so we can update the customer accordingly. Mr. Sam, do you know who Sam is?
I'm old school evangelist, televangelist, but old school, like 1940s televangelist. Am I wrong?
Don't watch the clock. Do what it does. Keep going. You want to break that down for us?
Uh, yeah, it's just time doesn't stop, so we can't
So
stop as
you
well.
shouldn't either.
Shouldn't either. Yeah, it's like when these type of quotes is like there is like I imagine a guy, a professional quote builder, and he has a fish bowl, and he has bowls inside, and every bowl has something else on it, and he pulls up two of those, and one says going, and one says clock, and he's trying to connect two of those. You understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, our guy Sam is right. We gotta keep going, man. Let's keep going.
You know what, man? You've actually given me a good idea. From now on, we're going to incorporate something, Munir's Quote Builder, where every day we're going to pull three random words and we're going to have you generate a quote, based on those words. And we'll see.
Got it.
That's how it works.
Got it. Let's go. Well, I'm not a professional quote builder, but I can be.
Listen, man,
I
neither
can be.
was neither was Sam, obviously. By this quote, neither was Sam.
Listen, man. If I have a jet on the like at the end of the line, no problem, man. Just send me those words. Let's see.
100 years from now, there's going to be people doing a recap of some work, and the end of their recap is going to be a quote session, and there's going to be a quote by Munir, that says like, if the rain is falling and the cats are hauling, you shouldn't stop
You got a bootholes.
hauling, and they're gonna sit there and say, man, what a quote, what a what a wonderful saying. All right, throwback to 8/23/16 when Emir K joined BHX.
I want to say it here.
2,851 days of excellence. What is that in years? 3,600 would be 10 years. Like 8
7 years
years?
and
7?
7 years and 10 months. So in 2 months he's gonna be 8 years with us, man.
It's amazing.
Great
Wonderful
guy.
human being, wonderful driver, responsible driver. I think everyone's, top 10 drivers.
100%. He is.
All right, I think that's it.
Yeah.
We'll be back tomorrow, inshallah, with a new recording, new episode. And stay safe, everyone.
Stay safe, everybody.